Allah, 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 Allah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Inshallah, you are all well. What we try to do in these 12 weeks is to give detailed lessons. Wa alaikum salam. Regarding our deen, our religion in general, but also our focus will be on Tasawwuf. Because usually when there is people who are not attached to Tasawwuf, it would be very difficult to speak freely. You always try to find different words, try to find different zigzags so you don't offend those who are perhaps, we don't want to offend them from start, but also we like them and we think maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open their heart, because the path of Tasawwuf, Tariqa Sufiya, it is not alien to Islam. It is contained all the teaching of Islam. Beginning, especially in the last 200 years, many of the Orientalists and those who have ill feeling in regard to Islam, they tried very hard and they have almost succeeded in making the Muslim think that if you are a Sufi, you not really belong to Islam. And this has become more evident in the last century. In the last century, it was a turning point really in the histories of humanity in general, but also in Islam in particular. The last century is it's an amazing century. A century full of blood up to our ears, not to our mouth. We passed. So we have few empires have collapsed. Start with, you get the Khilafah, the Islamic Khilafahs in Turkey, which the Muslim nation was one, even though they are fragmented. And then you have the First World War, you have the revolutions, the Bolshevik Revolution, Russia. And between these wars and the wars afterwards, the Second World War, which is Sheikh Abdul Wahid Yahya, Qaddasallahu Sirr, which is buried in Egypt, one of the great Sufi Sheikh of the Tariqa Shadiliya. He wrote after the First World War that what took place in Europe, it is like a dragon with his head is being cut cut off, and the tail just flapping everywhere, creating more destructions. And that's really this particular dragon, and he means by dragon the way of thinking, the way of the world start to see modernization instead of spiritualizations. So we counterfeit the realities of a humanities. People start believing in God. Then not believing in God has become the fashion. And of course the Second World War, it's in a sense to the Muslims, or in particular, it was a blessing in disguise. Because most after the collapse of the Islamic Khilafah, the Muslim countries was all colonized by Western countries. And the structures of the law, Sharia, how to govern themselves based on the teaching of the Holy Quran and the teaching of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it become inaccessible. They only is substituted by French, English, Italians, Dutch, German, you name it, is mixtures. Every country is colonized by particular European powers, took their own color. And of course, after the First World War, was the collapse of the second biggest empire, is the British Empire. And from that time, things start going from bad to worse for humanity who follow the histories, the spiritual histories of humanity. There is a histories of war and there is a histories of spirituality. When we talk about history of spirituality, we talk about prophet, messengers, great saints of God who came to enlighten mankind and to show them the safest way to return to the source, which is Allah Almighty. The conditioning which humanity has been put in the last 20th century and still continue right to 21st century, there's no really difference. Those who they marched out from the front door, they jumped back in from the window, and they still, the thief still in the house. So as I said, the writing, it's amazing that many of the problem we see prevailing in humanity today is because Tasawwuf, or the heart teaching of Islam, the core, is not being released to humanity. It's a small bits and pieces. After the many of the Guru era of the hippie time, you know, the flower powers and all of this particular time of anything you feel good doing. And these people, of course, they have encouraged him, and they come up with the concept of reincarnations, which is, in essence, is alien even to the Hindu teaching itself. For some reason, they start to think this new age movement that do whatever you like, and then you come back again and do it right if you don't do it right now. So have fun and good time. Don't do any spiritual work. Live it up. Yeah? What do you call it? Live fast and die young. And if you die of a drug overdose or whatever, then you will get another chance to come back and start fresh. I don't know whose idea it is, but it sounds like Mr. Lucifer. He's doing really his own work. The same, it has been said that every prophet and messenger of God, if he wishes and desires to speak to angels, to speak to demons, he will. His request will be granted, will be given priority. And it has been said that Prophet Isa, Jesus, son of Mary, among the rest of the prophet, may peace and blessing be abundant, he asked God to command the devil to come to him to speak, to ask him a few questions. It's a long conversation, but one of the points he pointed out when he asked him that Jesus, he asked the devil, how are you going to miss my follower? He said, in your case is very easy. He said, you will die from here. I will say that you are a son of God. They all will go to hell. So, no problems. It's very difficult. And this is why the Quran, in the first chapters of the Holy Quran and Fatiha, that you have lies, say, Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Guide us to the straight path. Sirat al-ladina an'amta alayhim. Those who have those you blessed. غير المغضوب عليهم. Those who have earned your wrath. Or ولا الضالين. But here, مغضوب عليهم, meaning those who are excessively toward materialism. Their attachment to excessive materialism brought them to the wrath of God. Wrath of Allah. Dhalin, those who are also to become excessive in their love of God. They think love could fix everything. So that's why everybody talks about love. And even those who come, for example, to Tasawwuf, to study Sufism, to study this beautiful teaching of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, sometimes they study for 20, 30, 40 years. And during this period, they never perform one prayer. They never know how to make ablutions. They don't know what Quran is. They know one thing. They know poetries of Rumi.